his first pass. He's cutting out on his heels, so maybe we'll see some ollies. And it looks like he did a wake, like he crossed the wake. Okay, good job, Derek. He's cutting in hard on his heels for a huge one wake air, but so Derek is back up on the water, and it says here that Derek's favorite drink is Northern Chill. Good man. So Derek is cutting outside the wake, doing some nice carves. He's cutting out on his heels, coming back in for a wake cross on his toe side, which that can be a pretty difficult trick just because of the wash on the wake. Sometimes okay, so Derek is coming back for his second pass. It looks like he's cutting out on his heels again for some carving around, showing us that he has good board control, crossing the wake again. He's coming back in on his heels for probably another huge wake jump. He's cutting in hard on his edge, and he does almost a wake-to-wake jump. A huge air on that. Doing her first pass, and she is from Lodi, Wisconsin. It looks like she's cutting out on her toes, coming back in on her heels for a huge one wake air with a grab. And another toe side air from her. One wake, heel side air. And now cutting back out on her toes, so she'll be coming back in on her heels for a huge wake-to-wake jump. So Lexi is back around now for her second pass. She's cutting in on her toes again for a almost wake-to-wake jump. Just barely was short. Now she is coming back in on her heels for a huge heel side wake to wake with an indie grab. And almost clear toe side. And now she just attempted at a wake to wake tail grab. Didn't quite touch the board, but that's kind of a tricky grab because you have to bring your hand down to the board and bring your knees up, so hard. And she's cutting out on her toes, so I wonder what we are gonna see today. Is she going to try a 360? Maybe. And she almost got around on the 360. Looks like she just missed the handle, but she definitely will get it next time. Good job, Lexi. Back up on the water, coming in for his first pass. He is 7 years old, and he rides a Hyperlight board. His favorite brand is Hyperlight, and his favorite tricks to perform are grabs. So Maverick is cutting out on his toes, so it looks like maybe he'll be cutting back in on his heels for a huge one wake air. And it looks like he did get some air on his toe side. Good job, Maverick. So Maverick is cutting back in on his heels for a huge one wake air, and it looks like he did a grab. Good job. So Maverick is back on the water for his second pass. He's cutting in hard on his heels for a nice wake cross. Looks like he did slow the boat down a little bit, so maybe we'll see some 180s. He's coming back in on his heels for a huge one-wake heel side air. And another big toe side air. But Maverick is coming back for his wild card. Gonna do it right here in front of the crowd. And he's cutting in hard on his heels for a huge almost wake to wake jump. Just let go in the air. Good job, Maverick. Pass. He is cutting out on his toes. And coming back in hard on his heels for a huge wake-to-wake jump. And then he just did a nice toe side grab. And now another heel side wake-to-wake with an indie grab, a toe side 180. And then another, looks like he did a half cab. Good job. So Logan is coming back in on his heels for a nice heel side 180. And a nice toe side 180. And another, looks like almost, he almost went wake to wake on his half cab.
It was almost a scorpion.
Water. And he is cutting out on his toes, so he'll be coming back in on his heels for a big heel side one wake 180. So Logan is coming back around for his wild card. He'll do it right here in front of the crowd. He's cutting in hard for a huge 360 and just barely missed the handle. First pass, looks like she's showing the judges that she has good board control, doing a nice back slide on the water. And she just did a huge wake to wake heel side air. She's cutting it in hard on her toes for a nice toe side one wake air. She has great board control on the water. She's cutting in hard for a huge heel side wake to wake air again. And coming in hard on her toes for another toe side one wake. Coming in again for a big heel side wake to wake air with a, looks like an indie grab. And then so Jaden is coming back around for her second pass, cutting in hard on her heels for a big one wake 180, and she just let go of the handle there. Super close on that. So Jaden is back up on the water. She's coming in hard on her heels for a huge wake-to-wake jump. She's now coming in again on her toes for a big spray. And switched it around, did a 180, and coming in on her toes for a switch toe side 180, but she just let the handle go. Looks like he's cutting out hard on his toes and coming back in on his heels for a huge wake-to-wake air. And now he's coming in back on his toes for a nice huge one-wake air. Coming back in on his heels for a huge wake-to-wake air. And he is doing amazing considering he has a lot of waves right now, but he can be turning around, and he'll have his second pass. So Owen is coming back for his second pass. He's cutting in hard on his heels for a huge wake-to-wake air. Coming back in on his toes. Looks like he's doing a nice board slide, 180. Outside the wake, which on the nice smooth water. He's coming back in on his heels for another huge wake-to-wake jump. And a nice little spray. So Owen is coming out on his toes, and he's going to cut back in hard on his heels again for a heel side front flip. Cutting out on his heels right now, doing some huge ollies. And now he's coming in on his toes for a nice little one-wake air, a wave, and a big inside-out jump. What?
Butt slide. He did a butt slide going out.
And another toe side wake cross. He's coming back in on his heels for big heel side, almost wake-to-wake jump. Just cased it. Maybe needs to go a little faster, but good job, Gordon. Gordon is coming around for his second pass. Looks like he's cutting on his toes into the wake for a one-wake air. And looks like he's cutting around, did a butter slide. And wave to the crowd again, waving to the ladies especially. Good job, Gordon. A big toe side air. And he's coming in hard on his heels for a huge, basically, it looked like he did make but it was like kind of a case, the wake. But so Gordon's coming in on his heels for a big heel side 180, one wake. Good job, Gordon. So Jake Hobbs is up on the water. And it looks like he is riding the Ronix 1 time bomb. And that is a sweet board setup. Lots of air and power on that board. Bug juice is his favorite drink. So he's coming out on his toes. He'll be coming back in on his heels for a huge wake-to-wake jump with a indie grab. And a nice toe side one-wake air. And he's coming back in for a heel side tail grab.
What was that?
And another one-wake air on his toe side. And a huge spray. And that. So Jake just came in for a huge heel side wake-to-wake jump with a grab. And almost cleared it toe side. And another big heel side air. Looks like it was a switch heel side air, which is so difficult to do. And he did a nice 180 outside the wake in the flats as well. Good job, Jake. So he's coming in hard for a huge tantrum. Looks like he just threw it a little early. Good job.